Hello, this is the first video of a series of videos for explaining how to get the color that you want in the printer using ColorGATE Production Server and the additional tools that Coloring Lab and Hi-Fi Colors have for it. On this first video, we are going to center in the color replacement tables and understanding what color replacement means and all the possibilities of the color replacements. For accessing to the color replacements of a job, we have to enter in the properties of the job by a double click in the job name. And here we have the different tabs on the properties of the job, and here we have the color tab. That is the main tab that we will be using for this. And here we have the color table button that allows us to access in the color table settings. In the color table window, we have a window with several columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. The first column is if the color replacement is active or not. So for example, in this case, we have all this color replacement active, but this replacement is not active. If I want to deactivate the replacement of this pantone, for example, I just have to turn it off and then the replacement will be turned off. If I want to turn on, I will turn on. I can turn on and turn off all the replacements by clicking this upper checkbox over here. Initially, the file was like this. The first column refers to the color that I'm replacing, and the second column is for what I'm replacing the first color. And we will see that here I can pick different things, and these different things can be replaced by different things. Here on the third column, I have the document color, so what is on the file, on the PDF. And here I have the delta E, that is the delta E between the color that I want to get and the color that I will get in the printer. And here a sample that represents the color. So for example, here, this pure black, this is named as pure black because this is a spot color. On the PDF, we have one spot ink, one spot color, and it's named as pure black. It's defined on the document as 000 100. So it's 100% of black. And I'm not making any replacement. So this ink will go through the color management, through the input profile, output profile, and linearization, and at the end will be a given value. I don't know, for example, it will be compost black. If I want to ensure that this is print with just black ink, I have to edit this replacement and turn it on. For editing the replacement, I can make a double click, or I can click this button here of edit entry. And here I have what I'm changing, in this case, the pure black, and here what can I replace. And as you see, we have here different options. Normally, we will be replacing the things by this option here, that is the print value. The print value has an icon of a printer. And here I enter the value that I want. For example, I want to replace this by 100% of black. I activate the replacement and I say OK. And then this replacement, it's active, and the 000 100 will be replaced by 000 So I will ensure that this spot ink will be printed with black, just with black. Another way of making a replacement is making a replacement by an LAB value. This, for example, this Pantone is being replaced by this LAB value, and on the file we had this LAB value. In this case, both values are almost the same. This is the value that has been picked by the color replacement table, and could be an LAB value if I'm using a generic replacement table, or a multi-channel value if I'm using an optimized replacement table. Or it could be nothing. I could be just do not making any replacement, and then it will be like this. So this color has not been replaced, and I will try to print the LAB on the file as the pure black was initially set up. Okay, I can just take this color and change it as we made previously for one value, for example, for cyan. Let's see what happens if I change this for cyan. I hit an OK and OK, and we will see on the preview that on this file, I will have changed these colors by cyan. This is one way of making the replacements. If I want to turn it off, I can turn off this replacement, and then I will get the print value that initially was going to get by the LAB value of the Pantone. So in this case, this yellow color. I can make a change to these colors and convert it into cyan in another way. Instead of making the replacement using the properties of the file, that is going here in the color table, I could make a double click on the preview. And on the preview, I will have the preview on the file, and here I have the color picker. With the color picker, I will be checking the print value at the end. So I see here that this yellow is going to be print with this value 0.8, 2.7, 89, 0, 22, whatever. I can make a click, and then here I can make a replacement. I want to make this CMYK replacement OB by this CMYK OB replacement. So if I want to make the same, I could be changing this by cyan. Okay, and this will be added into the replacements. And I will say okay and okay. And as you can see, the replacement is made, and I have replaced this print value by cyan. If I go to the properties of the file and I enter here, I will see that on my list of replacements, I have this replacement here. Okay, that is replacing this final value by this final value. The replacements that are print value by print value are applied at the end. On this file, I have one spot color, and this spot color is this lint color, lint 186. This has not been replaced because it's defined as a CMYK value on the spot color. The spot color can be defined CMYK or LAB or multi-channel. It can be defined in many, many different ways. I'm going to change it. And I'm going to change this spot color by an LAB, by a color. And the color that I want is a color that I'm going to measure. For measuring with one instrument and replacing this color by something that you measure, you have to click in this button of measure. Then you will get this window here for measuring, where you will see the device that you have, in this case an i1 Pro 2, and I'm going to measure the color that I want. I'm going to measure, for example, one green. Then I'm measuring the green. I say OK, and then I will be changing this link color by this LAB that I have measured. Here I have the delta A, so this green will be printed quite well. OK, OK, and OK. And here it is. We have replaced the spot color by this green that we have measured. Okay, let's imagine we want to change this color by another color that I know from a library. For example, for a reflex blue. A way of doing it will be entering in the color table, and I don't have here a reflex blue, and I cannot pick and select the reflex blue. But what I can do is here import entries. So adding colors to my color replacement table. And I'm gonna select the colors, for example, from this library here. This library here contains all the LAB colors of all the Pantone colors. And then the table will be loaded. It's a huge table because it contains thousands of Pantone colors. It will take a little bit. And here I have all the colors. As you see, here I see all the colors on the table, on this tab here, that contains 33,427 colors. And these are the document colors. The document colors are which colors are in this file here, in this color replacement, and are also present in the document. As you see in my document, I don't have any Pantone. But I could go to all the colors and filter the replacement, find the color by the color that I want. I want a reflex blue. So I filter by reflex, and here I have the reflex blue coated. That is the color that I want. I click in OK, and then I'm loading this replacement here. I'm going to replace the spot color reflex blue by this LAB value. The problem is that the color that I want to change is the lint, and I don't have the spot ink Pantone Reflex Blue. But I can edit the replacement of the lint by making a double click and telling that I want to change the lint by an alias. Alias is one special thing that I can change. And when you select alias as replacement, then you have here the full list of the rest of replacements. So I can choose the Pantone Reflex Blue and say, I want to print the lint as the Reflex Blue. And the Reflex Blue will be printed by this LED color. So in fact, changing the lint by the reflex and the reflex by this LED is making the lint color being printed as the Reflex Blue. Okay, so we have it. Let's continue with another kind of replacements because sometimes we just want to make two areas of one job with to be printed with the same color, or even two different files to ensure that they will be printed with the same color. So for example, in this job here, I don't have spot colors defined in these greens. I just have the default replacements for ensuring that the white is white and the black is black and things like this. That I could even delete these replacements. I mean, I don't need them for this file. Okay, the preview is going to be regenerated. So now on this file, I don't have any replacement at all because the file does not contain any spot color or anything. But I want to make, for example, that this green will look like this green here. So if I want to change these greens, I enter making a double click on the preview. And then I will select the color picker. And with the color picker, I'm gonna check which is the target color. The target color is a 75.3, 14.9, 83.5, 31.8, 00. And then I go into the area that I want to change. For example, this light green, I want to make this light green light the dark green. And I click here, and then here I type the number of the dark green. So 75.3, 14.9, 83.5, 31.8. That's it. I hit OK and OK, and I'm making one replacement for one print value to one print value that will make this green be printed as this green here. So I can do this even with a different file. So if I have a different file, for example, this file here, and in this file here, this area needs to be printed with the same color because it's part of the same job or whatever. In this case, are absolutely different files. I can always tick this color and change it by the value that I want. 75.3, 40.9, 83.5, 31.8, and then this color will be replaced by the green, the same green that I have on this file. So in this case, this job in this area and this file will be printed with exactly the same color.